Tyler and Olivia, a marriage of passion and secrets. Tyler and Olivia had been married for 2 decades. Their love story ignited at an electrifying pace. They tied the knot barely a month after their first encounter. Young, carefree, and hopelessly smitten, they paid no mind to the doubts and warnings of those around them. Their parents, however, were far from thrilled, convinced that such a whirlwind romance was bound to collapse. "Tyler, are you sure about this?" his mother would ask with concern. "You're both so young." But Tyler would simply smile, unwavering in his devotion. "I love Olivia too much to risk losing her to someone else," he'd reply. There was something different about their dynamic. Olivia, 2 years a senior, often treated Tyler more like a younger brother than a husband. At 24, she naturally took charge, dictating what he should wear, how he should conduct himself at work, and meticulously overseeing every aspect of his life. And Olivia wasn't just assertive, she had a fiery streak. The smallest irritations could send her into a rage, and she wasn't one to forgive easily. Yet Tyler was a peacemaker. No matter who was at fault, he was always the first to apologize, always the one to extend an olive branch. A year into their marriage, Olivia had exciting news. They were expecting a baby. 9 months later, their home was filled with the cries of their newborn son, Jason. As the years passed, Tyler's job required him to work in another city. He would be gone for weeks at a time, returning home only for short breaks. On one of those trips, Olivia decided to embark on a deep cleaning spree, running the dishwasher, the washing machine, and scrubbing every surface imaginable. Then disaster struck. A hose connected to the pipe suddenly burst, sending water gushing in every direction. Olivia acted quickly, shutting off the supply and mopping up the chaos, but she had no clue how to fix the problem. And with Tyler away for weeks, she felt stranded. That evening, as she took the elevator down to head to the hardware store, she ran into their neighbor, Nick. "Where are you off to in such a hurry?" he asked. With an exasperated sigh, Olivia explained her plumbing nightmare. "Who's going to fix it for you?" Nick asked, raising an eyebrow. She shrugged. "I have no idea. Tyler's away, so I was hoping the store might have a list of repair guys." Nick considered this for a moment before offering, "I could take a look at it for you." True to his word, Nick arrived the next day, toolbox in hand, packed with every gadget imaginable. He spent hours wrestling with pipes and hoses, determined to fix the issue. When he finally succeeded, Olivia was so grateful that she insisted on making him dinner as a thank you. "All right, I'm in," Nick said with a grin. "I've got some homemade wine at my place. Mind if I grab a bottle?" That wine turned out to be deceptively strong. It was sweet and fragrant, but its potency crept up quickly. Olivia felt the effects almost immediately, and before long, Nick was just as tipsy. Laughter filled the evening, and as the night wore on, the boundaries between them blurred. The next morning, Olivia woke up in a panic. She and Nick were in the same bed, heart pounding. She practically shoved him out the door, ordering him to leave and never speak of what had happened. Nick, looking equally dazed, hurried away without protest. But the very next evening, he was back, this time with flowers and a box of chocolates. He rang the bell incessantly. Without hesitation, Olivia slammed the door in his face. He stood there for a moment before placing the gifts on the doormat and leaving. Months passed. Olivia barely saw Nick, aside from the occasional awkward greeting in the hallway. Meanwhile, Tyler eventually returned home. She told him about the burst hose, but conveniently omitted the part about the night she had spent with Nick. Tyler, ever the diligent husband, reassured her, "I'll double-check everything in the apartment to make sure nothing else breaks while I'm away." But Nick hadn't forgotten. He knew Tyler's schedule, and the moment Tyler left for work again, Nick was back at Olivia's door. This time, he wasn't just dropping off flowers. He was insistent, almost relentless. Despite her better judgment, Olivia hesitated, and then she let him in, a betrayal that changed everything. "I got you this cake," Nick announced proudly, holding up the box. "Thanks," Olivia responded, keeping her tone as icy as possible. Undeterred, he flashed a teasing smile. "I still have some of that wine left, you know. And just like that, it started all over again. Olivia told herself, one more time won't hurt, and let him bring the wine. But one time soon became many. Every few weeks, whenever Tyler was away, they'd meet up in secret. One day, their affair nearly came crashing down. Jason, Olivia and Tyler's son, was now 19 and studying in another city, living in a college dorm. Out of nowhere, he showed up at their apartment for a surprise weekend visit. When the doorbell rang, Olivia's heart pounded against her ribs. Is that Tyler? She panicked, rushing to the peephole. She exhaled in relief. It was Jason. She quickly composed herself and opened the door. Oh, hey, honey. She forced a casual smile. Our neighbor Nick just stopped by. He brought me some wine. I actually buy it from him sometimes. He fermented himself. Can you believe that? She hoped Jason wouldn't question the awkward explanation. Nick and Olivia put their meetings on hold for a while, especially since Tyler was spending more time at home. One evening, he confessed something unexpected. I've been thinking of quitting my job, he admitted. Being away for so long is killing me. I just want to be here with you. The news left Olivia stunned. If Tyler stayed for good, she'd have to make a choice. End things with Nick completely or figure out a way to continue their affair behind her husband's back. Before she could decide, Nick took matters into his own hands. One day, when Tyler was out running errands, Nick forced his way into the apartment. I can't take this anymore, he muttered. I've gotten too used to being with you. Olivia tried to push him away, but he backed her into a corner, then dragged her toward the bedroom. Meanwhile, Tyler had wrapped up work at his company's local office earlier than expected. A storm was raging outside, leaving him drenched as he hurried into the building. In the elevator, he ran a hand through his soaked hair, shaking off the rain from his jacket. By the time he reached their floor, the sky had turned dark, the storm cloud swallowing what was left of the daylight. Stepping inside, he flicked on the entryway light, only to notice a pair of unfamiliar men's slippers on the floor. His stomach dropped. Olivia, he called out. From the bedroom, muffled voices and shuffling sounds reached his ears. His pulse thundered as he stormed down the hallway in a single stride and flung the door open. There sat Olivia on the bed, clutching a blanket to her chest, her face pale with shock. Standing beside her, half-dressed, was Nick. Tyler's breath hitched. His mind struggled to make sense of what he was seeing. What the hell is going on? He finally choked out. Then, his gaze locked onto Olivia. His voice hardened. Are you out of your mind? She sat frozen, gripping the blanket so tightly that her knuckles turned white. Nick made a move toward the door, but Tyler reacted instantly. His fist crashed into Nick's jaw, sending him stumbling backward. Without hesitation, Tyler grabbed him by the collar and threw him out into the hallway. That night, Tyler and Olivia talked for hours, though talking mostly consisted of Tyler shouting, demanding to know why she had done this, what she had been thinking. Olivia sobbed, pleading for forgiveness. Tyler said he needed time to think. The next morning, he made his decision. He walked straight into a lawyer's office and filed for divorce. Their family and friends were in shock. To outsiders, their marriage had always seemed unshakable, picture perfect. No one had ever suspected that Olivia was capable of such betrayal. Sympathy poured in for Tyler, while Olivia faced the fallout of her choices. Nick, still clinging to hope, asked Olivia to move in with him, but that had never been part of her plan. She turned him down. For the first time in years, Olivia had to find a job. Tyler had always been the provider. Eventually, she moved in with another man, only to discover that he had a severe drinking problem. When he was drunk, his temper was explosive, sometimes even violent. After each fight, Olivia would lock herself in the bathroom, sobbing as she tried to wash away her misery. The moment she had saved up enough money, she packed her things, broke the lease, and fled. Regret consumed her. She often thought about Tyler, about the life she had thrown away, but there was no going back. Tyler, for his part, swore off marriage entirely. The betrayal had shattered something in him beyond repair. Jason, furious over his mother's deception, cut ties with her completely. He convinced Tyler to move to the city where he lived, even helping his father find an apartment right next door. With nothing left for him in the old apartment, Tyler agreed. And just like that, it was over. One careless decision had led to a devastating betrayal. And in the blink of an eye, a once rock-solid marriage crumbled into nothing. Some wounds, no matter how much time passes, never truly heal.